Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
The other day, I was out wearing my Back Nine Problem shirt, and this older black lady asked me where the pineapples were.
What?
And I was like, what? And she was like, you look like a whole beautiful spiral ham.
Spiral ham?
And I expect you to have pineapples. Where are they at? And I was like, God damn.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Support Maui.
You're looking not like a whole snack, but a whole feast in that Back Nine Problems shirt.
Like thick, just beautiful.
Yeah. She's like, God damn.
She's like, wow, give me a fork and fucking some of those King's Hawaiian rolls.
But did you know where the pineapple was?
Where?
Did you know where the pineapple was?
No, I didn't know she was calling me fat. I wasn't expecting nothing. I had nothing for her. I wasn't ready.
You know, but if you have a Back Nine Problems shirt, you can look just as scrumptious as a feast.
It's pretty beautiful.
As our boy JB here, thickness himself.
I had the lady at the bank. I was wearing it yesterday. And I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I've been going to my bank for 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, It was my first bank. It was where my family went to the bank when they fucking lived in this state. So they've watched me kind of grow up. I see them every fucking week. So I come in wearing my Back Nine Problem shirt, my hibiscus, and she goes, she's like, are you going on vacation? And I was like, nope. And she goes, oh, is that to support Maui? And I was like, nope, I'm just comfortable as fuck. Like, just not at work.
Hell yeah.
Yes, that whole island is on fire. No, this is not why I'm wearing it. But let's see what we got. Let's see. That's the hibiscus right there. It's just, okay. It does look like, like you're going to the big island.
Oh, yeah. They sell in the triple XL.
This is the most touristy of the fat guy shirts that they have.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you ever had a hibiscus cocktail? I have. I loved it so much I made a shirt about it.
Hey-oh.
Nice. It's got that four-way stretch, that moisture-wicking material, that modern fit, wrinkle-free. It's breathable. I'm telling you, it hugs every shape that your body has. So make sure that your body's in a shape that you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should look better to wear better clothes. That's the thing. Is like when people are like healthy and they feel good, then they buy nicer clothes because it makes them feel even more confident, right? So go out there every day, play some golf.
Oh yeah.
Be a little less fat, and then buy yourself a Back Nine Problem shirt.
Oh yeah. And remember, when things start to fall apart on the Back Nine, at least you look good.
Boom. Promo code thickness, all lowercase letters. We had one where we didn't insult anybody. There we go, boys.
Now that's a real ad
That
read.
was professional.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
Yes,
now,
sir. All right.
Cut that hard, Doug, because we're getting the fuck into it today. God damn it. I am so upset. I've never been more irritated in my life than I have been this week.
No.
And then, and then this morning in particular.
General. Oh.
So
like really? Like recently? Huh.
I've had a rough week, let's say.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you have.
I've gone through a lot this week. I've seen what my breaking point looks like. It's not great. I've learned a lot about myself. I know what it's like now when I reach peak anger, and it's not pretty. I don't like it at all. It's not the fun kind of peak.
Nope, it's not fun.
It's not like, oh, he's going to go flip over a Prius and then punch a priest in the face. Right. It's more like just angry crying on the side.
Just like rage crying.
Just steam coming out of the tears. It's just fucking red hot.
Yeah, I want to tear somebody open, but I can't, you know, or something.
And, it's like the week, it finally came to an end, and, like, I was recovering, you know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to forget that I even existed for, like, a whole day. And then, like, now we're on the day 2 of the weekend, and it's like, all right, feeling better. Let's go suck some more dick tomorrow. Like, we cleaned up our chin. We've got all the fucking dry crusties off our chest hair from all the fucking dick sucking of the week. We're ready to go for it.
Wow.
We're ready to go some more. And then I wake up this fucking morning, and just the saddest, most bullshit thing I've ever seen. They have officially retired the Concord High School Minutemen.
Oh, I saw,
mascot.
dude.
Even though
I saw
people petitioned to keep it around.
Bruh. Yeah, they did a student vote and they were like, 300 votes and that's majority. It's like, nah, bitch, there's like 1,000 fucking students at least,
Yeah, that
at
school's
minimum,
huge. That school's huge.
Like, you want to say 300 votes is enough. I don't know if that was true or not, but I saw that in the fucking headline.
Well, no, it was the they did it all the way at the district. The district had a vote, so I think it was 4-1 or something like that.
Stupid.
Voted to retire it, and now
stupid.
it's the fucking Bears.
Yep.
It's the Bears.
Yep.
So
Where are there bears around here?
Why? Yeah.
Where are there bears around here?
There's not.
Where in Concord are there bears?
Yeah. What the fuck does it have to do with bears?
Right.
Like, you just chose something.
Yeah, like
You just chose something.
where was the fucking relation there?
Well, was that a
Was there?
write-in and they just looked at the California flag and were like, I guess we're bears?
Right. Did they just fucking put a bunch of pictures of animals and just darted at the wall until they landed on something and it was bears?
Is the principal
Like-
a big Chris Farley fan? Why bears?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
What's that do to like the whole everything, right? So like now the marching band,
right?
they were Minutemen.
Yeah, they literally
Like,
wore Minutemen. Like
they were the
fucking,
mascot.
Yeah,
They dressed
They
as
wore
the
the
mascot.
uniform, dude.
And here's the thing, from going to those events, all the marching bands look like that shit. It all looks like colonial or like British. Like it's very like pointy hatted and fucking leather and shit.
Yeah.
Like, so
That's just expensive, bro.
it's super expensive.
It's super expensive.
And that band is almost completely funded by the parents. So they're gonna have to change everything.
Yeah, or they just give them all a bunch of bear costumes.
I think they should give them bear costumes. I think bear costumes would be perfect. But here's the thing, like, they can't just go be the fucking Minutemen, right? Like,
I don't know. I mean, they probably could keep the uniforms. I would hope that's a waste of a massive amount of money,
but I think that's the thing is, like, don't you have to change them? If Minutemen was a problem to where they had to get rid of it as the name, you can't just be out there being Minutemen on the field. That's almost worse. That's like saying we hate the Klan and we can't have racism. But you still have like the football team in Klan outfits.
That's true.
It's like,
That's true.
yeah, like,
That's true. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
In the spirit of being woke, who's going to pay for that shit?
So in that case, if that happens, right, and they are allowed to keep the uniforms, then suggests that there was just they didn't like the name Minutemen. Maybe they felt it was old. Because then at that point, what's the point?
Well, I think it's because of the men part.
What's what I'm saying? Like if the marching band doesn't have to change their uniforms after all this goes through, that's when I would reel back and go, okay, then what was the point? Like, why did we need to move away from Minutemen? You know,
but also, and then imagine like if you were at one of those events, right, and you were like, "Here comes the Concord Bears," and then it's a bunch of soldiers. You're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Do they kill the bears? Do they kill themselves?
Should they be Concord hunters?
Is this some weird parable for suicide? Is that they're hunting themselves down metaphorically?
Yes.
Here at the Concord High Bears, we promote suicide. Yeah. You should hunt yourself down very much
Sweet
physically.
Release,
Yeah.
release from this mortal world.
Imagine you just end all your problems, and you go ahead and you got to grab your dad's gun or your friend's dad's gun and you put it in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You tongue the trigger like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like a real dick. Like cocky
Tongue
bastard.
the trigger?
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
It means you're throating the fuck out of that thing, bro.
Oh, yeah. You got to do what you got to do, bro. I mean, what do you want to survive?
Man, at that
gonna
point you're shooting your throat out, dude. You're not shooting your brain out.
That's true. Dude, people do that shit too. That's so funny. It sucks.
Oh, they shove it too far down their throat, not up at their fucking skull.
Yeah, people shoot themselves in the head and fuck it up all the time.
It's just like, how?
I love it.
How?
I love it so much. It's like, why?
Natural
Bigger
selection,
gun.
it was so extreme that it actually avoided death for them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude. Like, I remember my dad told me this story about like a family friend they had, and he became a quadriplegic. He was like in some form of like ATV accident. And was just a straight up like wheelchair with a straw kind of asshole.
Fuck, dude,
And
that sucks.
one day while everybody was gone, he fucking, I don't know, blew the straw hard enough to get himself into his brother's room. And he got a shotgun. And he must have been fucking an engineer or something, because he figured out a way to get that thing into his lap with no arms and legs and pull the trigger. But whatever he had to do to pull that trigger made him miss, and he blew the side of his fucking face off.
Dude.
He just looked like Kane from old WWE shit, dude. Like, he's just all melted and stuff.
All right, so real quick then, we'll revisit the Minutemen Bear thing, but it's hard left because it's appropriate of the conversation.
Yeah.
I brought this up before on the podcast.
How'd you kill yourself?
Assisted suicide.
Oh, okay.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on it?
I think it's fair.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, if you want to check out, I don't give a fuck.
There's a lot of people who would fucking die to, like, prevent any of that shit happening, you know? Because the argument is that you're killing somebody, you know?
Oh, well,
like,
yeah.
not necessarily for the person that's, you know, committing suicide, but the other person who's administering.
You're
you know?
playing God.
Yeah.
And I think anytime you're going to play God in any way, people are going to freak out about it.
You're going to attract weird people or like, you know, like this needs to be, it's not like an official medical field that provides this. I don't think they can do that.
Not
you know?
yet.
This is like a side practice.
Well, I think in Canada,
thing,
right?
You know?
I think in Canada.
I have no idea, actually.
Okay. Because I remember we talked about it once where it was the VR suicide. Remember? It was like a month or two ago. So they had like a machine that it simulated death.
Oh,
through your
yes.
VR.
Right.
But, and then we were talking about like just putting a VR helmet and then having them inject you with something.
Right.
You know,
and
like,
have that experience.
I mean, shit, that was all the way back in The Simpsons. If you remember an old episode of The Simpsons, is Abe Simpson, the grandpa. He goes to finally check out, and he gets assisted suicide. And he goes in like this room, and he's on the chair, and like the whole wall's a screen. And he's like, "What would you want your last thing to be?" And he's like, "I want to listen to like, you know, like Frank Ocean and watch hippies get beat up." And then like the whole screen is just like cops, not Frank Ocean, but cops beating up hippie people and like classical music playing in the background.
Oh, fucking God.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was fucking. But I mean, I think it's if you really want out, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it's better to do it that way than to ruin somebody's drywall by blowing your fucking head off. Or fucking traffic up by jumping off a building.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like one way you could traumatize a lot of people, and there's another way that's a lot cleaner.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's there's I think a lot of people have issues, specifically more so with the too close of a line of what murder is and what murder isn't. Well, I guess, you know.
See, let me take the worst of two evils. Honestly, if you were willing to get assisted suicide, right? You have signed the paper. I'm willing to die. I'm done.
Yeah, I already know
Kill
where you're going with
me.
yeah. Right.
Why can't we use them for like medical experiments and shit? Just take them, fucking club them over the head, make them really wish they were dead. You know, start like testing different medicines and like weapons and stuff on them, and like we're gonna see what it's like if somebody gets hit directly by a rail gun. We're gonna put you on a little island in the middle of the ocean. A satellite that's gonna fucking hit you from. You're just gonna see a white beam come from space.
Yeah,
it's gonna be over for you.
Yeah. This sounds like loosely the beginning of a fucking like Halo series, where
that'd be sick.
Instead of like abducting children to make super soldiers, you abduct people that want to die, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know,
dude. Yeah,
and then make them super soldiers.
Like it's like we invent a tracker for a predator missile the size of like a pea, and then you eat it, and then we send you out and see if we can hit you with the target. You know what I'm saying? That'd be sick. That'd be fucking cool.
That's fucked up.
Practicing precision.
Oh my God.
But then, you know, also like if we thought we had the cure for cancer, we might have to give somebody cancer first. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, you know, we're gonna give you cancer and then cure it. It's like, that sounds awful.
Why not just cure the people who already have cancer?
Well, because, you know, we're experimenting. Like,
it could be it could be a bad experiment.
I'm talking about like in the science community, when you create like a vaccine or anything like that, any type of medicine, it has to go through a bunch of trials to make sure that it's safe for humans. So I think we just open up human trials. And we use death row inmates and people who want assisted suicide.
Okay.
You know, people that we've already they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
You know, imagine
just put them in the fucking experiment bin. It's fine.
Take the human element out of it. Right? Just imagine you weren't a person that didn't care about people.
Okay. Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like let's not think about
so easily done.
Let's not think about dissecting people and think more about progress.
Okay.
like, imagine how much faster we can get some things done.
Sure.
If we just had humans to experiment
I
on.
mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, we really can step a couple things up like tenfold. Like when it comes to war, that'd be pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? We invented a gun that we're pretty sure can incinerate a person. It would just turn them into dust. Well, it's like, this asshole signed that assisted suicide paper, so we'll give him we're gonna give him a cigarette and a VR helmet and blast music and let's see.
Just blast him with the gun.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking God. Oh my God.
Yeah, you just VR Google Earth him, put him in Fiji and where it's somewhere beautiful, and he's just like looking and he's got music that's super loud, and he's just looking around. He's like, this is the most beautiful, and then gone. Everything just
fucking out of there.
Yeah. Just fucking melted him.
Yep, and then that's how stormtrooper laser guns were made.
Yeah.
Fucking laser rifles.
You got a test trial, you know. Why do cows and pigs have to get it? Why can't we, you know? We got a lot of humans.
Yeah, cows and pigs, are great, bro.
Feed those cows and pigs that you were going to test the military weapons on to the people.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, give that to the people and then kill death row inmates with lasers. I think that would be sick.
This is your assisted suicide plan?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think if I think it's beautiful because that person wanted to die.
Yes.
And therefore now we can use you to better ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Through series of potentially
Instead
torture.
of just being wasted meat that we put some poison into.
Right.
Why don't you make a change for humanity?
No, not why don't you, as in you have no choice. It sounds like.
Yeah. Well, like let's say every morning we wake up, we hit him with like a fucking mega dose of acid as soon as his eyes wake up every single day, right?
Yes.
He doesn't know where he's at or what's being done to him. He's just in fucking
He's just
La La
fucking
Land.
blitzed, dude.
Or just panic crying, Just,
oh yeah.
You gotta hit him with a shovel a couple times till he passes out.
If he feels pain, wouldn't it be amplified?
Probably everything's on full tilt when you're on those kind of drugs.
That's what I'm saying.
You're real happy, you're real sad, you're real scared.
Jesus, dude. Okay. Yeah. Well, your take on assisted suicide is just experiment on him instead.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I also believe the same for the 4 that voted for the Minutemen to be retired
and be experimented on.
Yeah. Also. The one guy who voted to keep Minutemen, I want to buy him a beer or a car or something because that was a true American hero right there.
Yeah,
so
let's stood against it all.
Let's go back to how fucking stupid this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Can they keep the colors, the school colors?
Gold and green
has nothing to do with bears.
Yeah, not really, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, it doesn't really have to, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like you got to go like brown and gold. Or something like that. Like you gotta bear it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. So like we've established the band would look silly unless you and you have to change the uniform.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense otherwise. It's more offensive to have them dress up in the uniform than it is to just have that be the fucking mascot that nobody gives a shit about. All right, you give it to one fucking kid and he runs around and rallies with the mask on. And that's all you ever see the mascot. Right. It's not that big of a fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to change that shit to bears now, which I don't know. Like you get them like those old school coonskin hats.
The coonskin?
Yeah, those coonskin hats, the raccoon hats, the like the lumberjack hat, like.
Oh, that had the little tail and stuff and everything. Yeah. I was like, what? I could not picture that for a second. But okay, I see you now.
Yeah, coonskin hat and like some type of brown, almost fur-like coat and pants.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And then like again, you can change the colors to like brown and gold or brown and white. I think would probably be aesthetically pretty nice. Yeah. Like how much needs to change to go into bears?
I hope not a whole lot. Honestly, I really do. Like, I hope not a whole lot.
Like, I read somewhere 200,000 was going to be like the starting, like to get everything kind of changed around. But I don't know what in that 200,000 what's going to get changed.
Oh, you mean as far as like budget?
Yeah. Like there's a $200,000 budget for changing it.
Well, I would hope a good chunk of that would go to the marching band.
You know, it'd be a good chunk of it, giving it to the fucking like teachers and buying new books and shit.
Yeah.
You know, how about we worry about that?
The actual school.
Where we get this $200,000 from that we had books from like the 80s.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? We had books that were pre-Cold War.
Yeah, why not give these to the teachers? It's like, well, they already have a fund. It's like it's a bullshit fund.
Not enough.
It's a bullshit fund, and we all know it.
It's just not enough. Sorry. Like, it's just what it is.
Kiss my ass.
These motherfuckers using their own paychecks. Like, if they want nicer things, they just buy it themselves.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they get by just fine every year. It's like, yeah, like skimming by and doing well are two completely different fucking things, asshole.
Well, yeah, and getting by, like, fuck, our senior year of high school, 2011, they dropped the graduation credit limit from 230 to 200.
Yep.
Like getting by, we literally took a half of year's worth of credits out of the curriculum just to keep pushing people through the system.
Yep.
I didn't have to take math senior year because of that.
Me neither.
I was going to have to take a math class senior year because I fucking fucked up geometry.
I didn't give a fuck.
And they were like, oh, no, now you don't have to take it. I was like, cool, fuck geometry.
There was a teacher that I completely fucking hated her guts and then did not, I could just refuse to participate pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously flunked out of the class, you know? But like, I didn't give a shit because I knew that I had an extra year to like, you know, take math again. Yeah. But then it was that was the year they announced, oh, you don't need it. And it was like, fuck, you know, like I didn't have to. They really waste money on bullshit, honestly.
This is such a big fucking waste of money. Know? I mean, I hate to sound like an old man, but like, come the fuck on, man. Like,
it's true. It's true though. It's like
put it into the school.
There's a lot more like. There's a lot better things you could be investing that money in than changing your mascot brand.
That school is like right on the edge of like being not a good school, but a great school. Right?
Yeah.
Like when we were there, like all of our sports and all of our programs were number one. Everything.
Yep.
Everything. Everywhere we went. We had the NCS state wrestler all 4 years I went there.
Yep.
Well, I went there 3 years. All 3 years I went there, but even that fourth year, the NCS, the best wrestler in the state was in our school.
Yeah.
Our football was winning the fucking state championships. Our band was sweeping. Our choir was sweeping. Like everywhere they went. Like the whole school was always winning.
Yeah.
Right? But it still wasn't like a charter school. It still wasn't like a private school. It wasn't like a heavily funded school. But it was at the gate to where like it could be, right? Like our senior year, they even tried to apply to be a charter school. And then one of our peers, I don't know, fellow students, decided to twerk on the guy who was doing the evaluation, and that's why we didn't get it. We didn't get accredited because somebody decided to go twerk on the fucking inspector. Great. I love it.
Oh my god.
A harmless prank.
That kid's not only an animal, but that guy's kind of a fucking douche.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. You really just ruined.
Right.
You just fucked it up for generations.
Yeah. That kid's an idiot. Yeah. But also the guy, the inspector, is kind of a fucking
petty. Yeah. It's like really, man. It's a child.
Like, was that really the only reason, or was there more things that?
I mean, maybe there was more things, but I heard like that the person like left.
Yeah.
Like they were
they were appalled.
They were done. Yeah. Like I'm not
fucking
not
snobby, high living
clipboard.
Fucks. Yeah. Yeah, that's how you know when there's people that like are the silver spoon fucking snobs, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've seen those kind of people that are like take the like shit like that personally, you know, and they'll take it to the next level, you know.
Oh, it's fucking crazy.
Any other normal person would be like, "Can you not? Thanks," and then move on with what they're doing. You know,
I definitely feel like I need to find some merch before it's all gone.
Oh yeah,
now that's gonna be
because that's gonna be a thing.
That's gonna be gone. I'll never I won't even send my children to Concord High. If I have children, they're not going to be bears. Yeah. Okay, they're going to go to Clayton Valley or something where they actually did get the fucking charter. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Clayton Valley or even like fucking.
It's just it's such a fucking. It's so silly to think of wasting this much money.
200,000 is a lot.
Yeah,
if that's the actual budget. That's a lot for just changing a brand. Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
and that is all it is. Is just
changing
your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
at the end of the day,
I don't know. As far as like, why Minutemen is offensive. I don't know. I don't know if there was Minute Women. Like, were there?
I don't know.
I don't think women were fighting back then. It was a Revolutionary War.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that bit of history.
Yeah, I know that. It was
but I know that they were actually like.
I know it was the 1800s or late 1700s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, out of principle, if it's out of the fucking woke movement, you know, and the whole like idea that we're trying not to offend other people, you know, that's a lot. That's $200,000 to not offend people. You know, like at the end of the day, like,
and that's kind of what it is, right? It's this weird social move, to try to make the school look more progressive. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, oh no, we're not gonna cling on to this masculine like Minutemen. Like there's women who go to this school, and we should be proud of them. Like look at the Barbie movie. Like we gave them so much power now. Like they should all be strong. And,
like, I mean, like even just down to the idea that it's not even about that they're the Minutemen. It's about what their impact on history was, you know? So it's about what they actually did for the world, you know, or the history, I guess, you know, for us. So I don't know. I think it should be beyond thinking that, oh, these are just symbols of war, you know? Yeah. It's like, no, they're more than that, you know? They're symbols of like, I don't know, I guess adaptability and the whole thing was that they would be ready in like a minute, you know, like 60 seconds or less, basically, right? And they'd be able to move on to a battlefield or wherever, like in a short period of time, right?
And they were really quick with reloading their muskets.
So, you know, and
that was like a whole to do to fire a shot. You had to dump out the ash and then load the gunpowder and stuff it down into that bitch and then put the bullet on that and stuff that back down into the bitch, and then it was a ball, so you shot it and it go whatever fucking direction it wanted to. Think about that. Like the original bullets, dude, they'd shoot it and it would just arc right, super tough.
Yeah.
And just fly off.
They haven't evolved into the technology of going straight forward.
Yeah, so they were all
the actual
just
shape of the bullet.
They're all just fucking working hard as fuck trying to get one bullet into this goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And then they'd aim it and it would just go hit a tree fucking 30 yards to the right, like, bitch. And then they'd be stuffing it again as the other guy also missed. And he's like, he's doing the same thing. He's like, God damn it.
Everyone's just standing there firing until one side dies, you know?
But these guys were like fire at it, right? Like they were fucking biting the cap out the gunpowder with their mouth and fucking pouring it in their mouth and spitting it down to the barrel with the ball in there and shit.
Yeah.
And they would as they were shooting, they'd fucking throw the gun like that one movie, and then like they would make the bullet arc the right way.
Yes.
Getting headshots.
Yeah. They would like aim a one direction and then suddenly shift left, shoot, and then shoot the guy that they were originally aiming at. You know, dude. I mean, like, regardless, the point being, it's like there's not really a reason to spend $200,000 on a brand change for the sake of being progressive, right? Like, whether or not like we can justify how cool they were, what they were, or how the impact on history, you know, as far as money spent in a poor manner, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like there's lots of other things that they could have spent that $200,000 on that school in particular.
They could have updated every single teacher's computer and projector.
Yeah, you could put everyone on like a full fucking like a huge cloud system where everyone's connected, you know, they push them into the modern technology. You know?
Have a projector that's on the ceiling that has an HDMI that's running to your computer.
Invest in the arts.
Instead of using clear sheets.
Yeah.
And then putting it on that old school lamp and box projector.
Yeah. Evolve into like actual like projection systems. You know, like there's 100% better shit.
Like there was enough money to do that. That's for sure. Just in
invest
that change.
Into the robotics class that you have. Maybe add an additional one. You know, like invest into the arts. You know, they always are looking
reopen
for
up the auto
more
shop.
Money. You know, exactly.
I think that if he hasn't retired, the last I heard, the auto shop teacher was doing one class a week. And then and Concord High was like one of the only auto shops left in the whole district. Yeah. Because there's not enough funding in these schools to keep that shit alive. Because cars, when you let a bunch of children fuck up a car, it could be pretty expensive.
Right,
you know?
Sure.
But it's like open that back up. We need tradespeople. Like we're going to need a lot of tradespeople because nobody's doing it anymore. So like the amount of people who do trades that are young, like today compared to what it used to be, it's like you'd think that there's nobody in there. Right. You know, everybody's like 40 and above.
Yeah, I guess like, college is ripped down everyone's throat.
Like I'm 30 and I'm one of the young ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, and there is a real mentality of like trades are for stupid people,
right?
And like it's like a failures route, right?
Yeah,
like if you went into
there's
a
negative
trade,
connotation to it.
it's because you couldn't get through college,
which is such the wrong fucking mentality.
Yeah,
dude.
but then we need that.
Oh
shit.
hell yeah,
that's our infrastructure entirely.
Yeah,
entirely. You like lights? Somebody's got to run wires for those fucking lights.
You like your sewage system that functions
you
right
like
now?
sleeping under a roof?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody has to build this house, dickhead.
Yeah, yeah. You
And if
have
you wanna-
HVAC, don't you?
yeah.
Right?
And
If you don't, I bet you want it.
Yeah, and the older your house
know?
gets, the more dangerous it is to be in there. Somebody's gonna have to fix it eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Things are rotting. The codes are
Are
growing.
you learning every bit of these trades yourself to take care of your house or wherever you live? Probably not.
How many people could fix their own plumbing if there was just like the toilet didn't flush?
Fucking not many.
Right? Like,
Not many.
It's fucking crazy.
You know?
Like
Right?
you could probably go into somebody's house and just turn a valve off under the sink.
Yeah.
And ruin their entire week because they're gonna call a plumber. They're gonna take time off work to get to that plumber.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then that asshole's gonna come up and he's gonna see it immediately and he's gonna turn it on and be like, "You owe me like $400."
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got to dump that money in and it's just going to be a nightmare.
And you're
bro.
gonna pay that $400. Why? Because your dumb ass couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You didn't want to look.
Yeah.
Even kind of.
Yeah, dude. Like it's trades are so fucking important, you know.
Yeah, and
like
it's gonna get more and more expensive because you're gonna have less and less people who know how to do it. So it's gonna become specialized.
Yep,
Like,
exactly.
it's like,
Yeah,
oh, look, I'm the only guy in town.
Everyone
Like,
was
I'm booked.
told since we were like fucking in kindergarten, you know, like grow up and go to be a big whatever, you know, like an astronaut or what the fuck ever, you know, firefighter, you know, it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And then soon as you hit like middle school, you know, the dialogue very quickly changes to go to college, study hard, you know, like get a degree, because that was the path, quote unquote, that to get to become an astronaut or a firefighter or whatever. You know, we didn't know you don't need a degree to be a firefighter. You know, you go through an academy, you know. But like as far as how the dialogue shifts from like, hey, that thing that you were imagining about, now that you're all hyped about, well, you have to go through college. This is everyone needs to get there because education's the way, you know? And that forms like this idea that everyone has to go, and if they don't go, they failed, you know? And on top of that, that's coupled with what you talked about before, the whole thing of everyone getting just shoved through a pipeline, you know? The whole no child left behind, just while meaning good, having good intentions, turned into the shove everyone regardless through the hole, you know, no matter how they end up or what they actually really needed. You know?
Yeah. Now you got like, what was it? Was like, I think we looked at it before. It was like 30% of the students are like psychology majors.
Yeah,
because they didn't know what to pick.
They're just useless.
They're just told to go to college, and then they didn't know what to do.
The information I'm not saying at all is useless, you know, but they must feel useless as far as like there's probably not jobs that are applicable to what they spend all that time for. You know, like
and like the chances of you getting that job, like we don't need that many psychologists.
No,
like, we just don't. We need them, but we don't need like 1-to-1 with human.
Yeah, the pool of jobs that exists within psychology is obviously going to be significantly smaller than any other trade out there, whether it's carpentry or HVAC or welders or whatever,
fucking
you know,
all of it, like it's but those are the classes that you see are closing, right? Like some schools had metal shops, no more.
Right.
Some schools had wood shops, some are still open, a lot of them are gone. You know what I'm saying? Auto shops, like I said, our school was the only one left, and the guy who ran it was old, cancerous, and tired. You know, he was doing one class a week. He might even be dead by now.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? He's a wonderful guy. I hope he's not.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was dead cancer like twice while I was there.
Yeah. So,
you know
unless he's one of those like gritty fucking vets that somehow survived through everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. He used to walk around just open wounds.
Animal.
Bleeding. Oil on his arm. Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's an animal. I love it.
Savage.
Yes.
But
200,000 is too much.
200,000 could open up that shop again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get another teacher. 200,000 could update the tech in every classroom, or at least update the books. Probably
200,000 could finally update the baseball field and soccer field to be similarly maintained as the football field.
So now
you have an entire athletic fucking system back there that's clearly maintained equally.
Well, like the soccer field got it the worst. I mean, football field was like high tech, really nice. Baseball field was at least secluded.
Right.
Soccer field is just the grass people hung out on.
Yeah, and it just got overgrown all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And
maintained
it was
well.
getting stomped down from everybody just hanging out at lunch and shit. Like, it's not like it was like for the soccer team. It just happened to be where they were going.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that was just happened to be the biggest part of grass that we had. You know, so
yeah, it just needs to be better. At the
to
end
be
of the day,
Bears.
Yeah, to be the Bears when you could be like investing way more into the actual value of that school, you know, and what it can provide to the kids, you know, even just the roots of. Take away all that fancy shit that we just offered, you know, and go back to your original point. Update all the original fucking source material that they have. You know? There's books that are from like 2008, 2005 still there, you know, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's probably tons of like material that hasn't been updated. You know, the tech in the classrooms has not been updated, right? Like they've clearly added solar panels. They've updated the multi-use room, which is cool. You know, that's nice, right? But, you know, fund some money into the actual system, you know, and maybe the system won't be as broken because it'll function the way it's supposed to and not just be like, hey, we need to get these kids through this pipeline. It's like, well, we don't have everything we need to get them to do that. It's like, well, just cut corners until they get through the pipeline. That's literally what the whole fucking attitude is.
Also, it's like, what's the idea? Like, is it that if we change to the Bears, we're going to get more people that are progressive that want to move to the area?
Probably not,
because the school depends on the taxes of the area around it.
Yeah.
Which, if I lived right next to it, I would ask if I could not pay taxes. I want that school to close now. I want Concord High to shut down. I want it to be an empty campus and they turn it into something else, like a fucking homeless encampment. Fuck that school, dude. Like it's such a I feel like the school I went to doesn't exist anymore. Because
like it got erased.
Because I was a Minuteman and that's no longer a thing, right? Like everybody, and here's the thing: a lot of these people who live here also were like alumni, right?
Yeah.
So they're all like looking at this like, you motherfuckers, like it's gone. My part of history is gone at this school because that has been erased. Now now from now on it's the Bears and people will know it as the Bears.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'm gonna get it.
It's stupid.
I think we should. I think if you're listening to this, just go there in the middle of the night and just start a fire. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, man. But do me a favor and don't reference us at all.
No, but we'll know it was you and we're proud of you.
Yes, we will know.
If that school happens to just catch on fire in the next couple of weeks,
we will know. But don't mention anything about any of this.
Yeah, no. We don't got to.
This is a show. We're playing characters. Don't
this is serious. Don't dry snitch on yourself. All right? Don't be doing any of that. Just light it on fire and just go somewhere else.
Yes.
Right.
And we're playing characters, so
no part of me is serious about it. Just very angry. Oh man, speaking of it, very angry. So I had not an aisle sandwich, but an aisle altercation. Or a sandwich altercation.
Oh, interesting.
All right. So
okay.
I work by these old folks community quite often. And there's a Safeway right there. So I'll go get my lunch at the Safeway. I like hitting the deli. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple good things in the deli. And it's a good time for me. You know what I'm saying? It's cheap. It's hot food. It's an easy going time. So I go there, and there's this dude who works there that's just like this strangely overwhelmed dude. You know what I'm saying? He always looks like he's in like a panic rush. You know, like
okay.
He just looks overwhelmed. Always. Yeah. Always. Like just like big eyed, like, oh shit.
Super
like,
overstimulated.
Yeah, like he can't keep up with being a deli worker. Fucking there's like 5 of you. Like you really, what are you holding the shoulders? You're the fucking guy.
Yes.
You're the running back of this team, bringing us 7 points every fucking couple minutes.
Oh yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like this guy. So I walk up, I get in line, and I walk up, and I notice that the little hot food area is like damn near empty. Mm. Like there's some things out, but everything is like, it looks like they had just like a big ass rush. So I asked, I was like, hey man, is there gonna be any like other shit coming out? And he's like, yeah, just like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, right on. So I step to the side. I let some other people go through the line. I'm not in line anymore. I'm just kind of hanging out. I've got some time to kill. And he looks over. He's like, hey, man, like, yeah, just like 8 more minutes. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, dude. Like, You just told me. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like, I'm not
I'm
tripping.
just vibing. Yeah.
I'm not standing at the counter. I'm not in line. I'm just kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to
Big
go.
chilling.
10 minutes isn't long enough for me to go somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm fine. I'm waiting for my food, dog. And then he's like running around. He's like fucking just freaking out and trying to get shit done, which is strange because everybody else is pretty chill except for him. Always. He's just always panicking. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, all right, it's going to be like 5 minutes. Can you just like go shop or something?" And I immediately stood my ground and came back just like, why the fuck would I'm not going shopping. I'm on my lunch break, dude. Like I'm at work right now. I'm not going to go pick things up and then take the chances that they're going to hold well in my 110 degree van until I'm off for the fucking day. You told me to wait. I'm waiting. You don't need to be such a panicky bitch about it.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I said panicky bitch, but not to him.
Oh.
What I said to him was a much worse word.
Oh.
But panicky was the first word. You know what I'm saying? But the second word was more something that started with an F than bitch. But
oh, okay. Yeah.
I hit him with the
yeah.
panicky F word. You know what I'm saying? Like I hit him with that classic, that hitter, that poo push, that poo push energy, bro. I hit him with the fucking stick.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I was very aggressive.
I was like, why is it? I don't know why you need to be panicky. Also, I don't know why you need to be having sex with dudes all the time. Like that's kind of what I hit him with. Like, dude, I watched his eyes light up. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "You fucking like you heard me, dude. Like I'm not bothering you. I'm not standing in line. I'm not fucking talking to people. I'm not over here like these guys need to hurry the fuck up. I'm not over here tapping my fucking metaphorical watch and stomping my feet. I'm just hanging the fuck out, and you're over here like I'm
vibing.
pressing you. Like why are you treating me like this? This is not necessary whatsoever." And then I was told him, I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. I didn't know that it was this fucking hard to work here. Like I couldn't believe it. I thought that this was gonna be some normal, barely above minimum wage job so they can have any chimpanzee do it. But by the look on your face, this has got to be hard as fuck.
Yeah, rocket
You've got
science.
like we're about to launch the rocket energy and you're not sure if it's gonna explode yet or not. All right. It's like you need to calm your fucking ass down and then I'll go somewhere else. So then I go across.
You let them have it. God damn.
And by the way, I go to this Safeway all the time, so I'm excited to see him on probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
I go outside. And like I'm mad. I've just insulted the shit out of the Safeway employee. He kind of deserved it. Fuck him. You know, I was being pretty chill, and he kept coming at me. I feel like that was kind of warranted.
Yeah.
I didn't need to call him.
It was aggressive.
I mean, panicky F word is a lot, but you know, he was being one. And, So I look across the street and there's the taco truck, and I hadn't been there in hell long because it's just awful for you, and it always makes me tired whenever I get food from it.
Yes, he goes into a coma every time.
Every time. Doesn't matter what you get. It's just so greasy and amazing. But so I go over, and like there's like a little window where you order and a little window where you get your food. The window where you order, there's a dude there. He's standing there and an employee. The employee's like writing something down on a piece of paper and he's on the phone. So I imagine this other guy is just kind of waiting for him to be done so he can order. So I stand behind him. And one of the ladies that's making the food, she turns around and she goes, "Did you order already?" And I was like, "No." And she goes, "What do you want?" And I was like, "A super chicken burrito." And she goes, "What do you want?"
What?
Yeah, right. And like, again, I'm already pissed, and I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But this, like, I'm not mad at her more at this moment as I am confused.
Yeah.
I was like, a super chicken burrito, and then she rolled her eyes and just started like making pupusas.
Huh?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, that would
just
stump me too.
I just got back in the van. I skipped lunch. I was like,
what is happening?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into a fight
What
with
the
everybody I
fuck?
talked to today.
Does she not know? Huh?
Yeah, dude. Like That was like it's almost like some type of weird mental trick.
Like I can't even begin to process why she did that.
Yeah, like it is really just like, are you fucking with me? Like, why did you ask?
Was there a language barrier at all?
I mean, they were Mexican people,
but I mean, like, she could speak English clearly.
Yeah. She had the accent, but I could tell she knows what I'm saying. I know what she's saying,
right?
And she's. It's on the menu. She's heard the words burrito and chicken before.
And if it is on the menu, I was gonna say is maybe they don't do burritos or something.
No, they got burritos, soup burritos,
super chicken burrito.
Yeah,
maybe
I've eaten.
Is the menu in like combo format or something? No. Or is it individuals?
I think here's the thing.
Why?
Right?
I can't put this together.
All right. So starting, have you ordered yet? That makes sense, right? Mm-hmm.
No,
and I say no.
What do you want?
Yeah. So what do you want?
Yep.
Right?
Normal
I want chicken
conversation.
super burrito.
Yep.
What do you want? Aggressive.
Whoa. Chicken super burrito.
Yeah, and then fucking start doing her own thing, and it's like, what was I supposed to say?
Did you just Jedi mind trick?
Wait, let me try that
now?
again. Let me try again. Nachos. No, fuck.
It's a different eye roll this time.
It's like, what do you want me to order? I just want a soda. Can I just have a soda?
No.
Fuck.
Pupusas? No, you're making pupusas.
You have them in your hand. You can't throw another one on there for me?
Yeah, dude.
No? All right.
Oh, man. Yeah, you definitely got bamboozled out of fucking lunch that day.
Yeah, and it's like, what about this other guy that's standing in front of me? Has he ordered? Are we not doing that to him?
Maybe not.
Maybe,
maybe not.
Maybe
he knew the code. Maybe it's like,
he was also Mexican. Yeah, that's true. They were going to help him out way before they were going to help me.
Okay, that's fair. Fair. I was thinking more like maybe it's one of those like a speakeasy, where you have to walk up and then like knock on the door and like say a fucking phrase to get in.
Yeah.
Right? It's a phrase to get your food, basically.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's here. He's here. They open up the back of the truck.
Yes.
Oh,
hell
awesome.
yeah.
But no, I mean, I've eaten from that truck 1,000 times too. I love that fucking.
Maybe she's just trolling you, dude. Same person? Have you always ordered from her before?
No. But I mean, because it's just whatever immigrants they can pick up that day. It's almost never the same people. It's just the guy who owns it and whatever fucking women he can come and make food for him.
Oh my god, yeah.
So
it's always different.
Yeah, it's just fucking. I don't know if it's just the heat, but it's like, man, to go from a straight up argument.
Yeah.
Where I've crossed the line at the deli.
Yes.
To just this confusing shit.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just gonna wrap my car around a fucking school bus.
And both times you weren't the it didn't seem like you were the
I was chilling.
starting oppressor.
No, I was chilling. I was hungry. I wanted lunch.
Yeah, you were just vibing the first time.
Yeah. It's like I'm not.
And then the second time you were just attempting to acquire lunch for a second time.
Yeah, I was.
And it just got thrown back in your face.
Patiently willing to stand in line until the guy was done on the phone, and then done with the guy in front of me. Again, it's not like I was sitting there, like some old timey, like I've got like a pocket watch on like a chain,
waiting down.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm timing it, and I've got like a monocle, and I'm writing it down on a piece of paper and shit.
Yeah, and if it's not out by 10 minutes exactly, it's a manager report.
It's like, no, I'm covered in fucking sweat. I'm fucking dirty, and my arms are bleeding. Probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking have my food. And fuck off.
I had fat forearms twice this week. I fucking cut my forearm here and I cut my forearm here. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, fucking battle scars, bro.
Yeah. It's like I'm not, there to bother anybody. I'm just a man working hard that wants some fucking chicken nuggets.
yeah, fucking give me my chicken nuggets. God damn it. The nuggies are sacred.
Those are good fucking nuggets, man. The Safeway nuggets are fire.
Yeah. They are pretty good.
Yeah, and they got the combo, so I like to get that broccoli salad with it because I'm trying not to die that fat.
Okay, fair.
And it's a good time. It's a good time.
Their seafood salad and their chicken salad's pretty fucking fire.
Yeah. The seafood salad for me, like sometimes I eat it and it's just too much, but then sometimes I'm like I can eat endless amounts.
Yeah. I think for me it's the same vibe of like potato salad. Sometimes you're like, this is too much, and then other times you're like, I want more.
Yeah, bring it the fuck on.
Yeah. So it all depends.
Just to close it out, fuck Concord Eye.
Yeah.
I hope it closes. I hope the campus gets used for like AIDS testing or something stupid and hilarious.
If they really are spending that much money on this whole basically rebrand, dog, like that's what I'm more disappointed on than anything. above all else.
The budget
the
for
logo change, the brand, the mascot change. Like, yeah, it sucks, but what the fuck ever. Right? Part of me is like that. You know, it's more about like how much money they're spending on it when they really could be spending that money on way better things.
Yeah,
you know?
could you imagine if this would happen where like Cody lives? Where high schools and all that kind of stuff means something to the community a lot more.
Yeah.
They would riot and shoot people. You know what I'm saying? The whole
right.
the whole town would
You're
have
wasting
to
this
be,
money.
The whole town would have to be unanimous. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, we're talking about fucking up the water cooler, the water tower.
It probably would never happen in the first place, honestly.
No. I think Cody's school will forever be the Mustangs.
Yes.
But they already had a gender neutral fucking mascot, so I guess they don't have to worry about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
we have
true.
a masculine mascot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Minutemen, bruh.
Yeah, I guess, you know, that's not okay. It's men.
Whatever. I'm more upset about the $200,000 being wasted on that of all things.
I didn't go to college, so that mascot's all I had.
That's it's just so much money to make kids have a better opportunity in education.
Yeah. Well, it's also
that's really what.
As somebody who went to that school, I know that they needed that money for other shit.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That band program was mostly funded by its parents.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the school almost gave no money to that
band boosters were like exclusively almost you know the main source of income for the band.
If it was up to the school, they would have closed that program by now.
We got some budget from the school,
Not enough.
but it was always minuscule. Even though we won, like if you ever like for people who haven't been into the Concord High band room, you know when you walk in, you look up at the ceiling, and the whole room's like 40 feet by 50 or so, give or take, would you say? Maybe around that. Like 4 garages.
20 by 50.
Yeah, like 4 garages like put together is basically like the width and length of the space, more or less, right?
Yeah.
And the wall up in the ceiling had shelves that was lined with trophies, you know, from like, I think 1990s when Mr. Courtney first started teaching there, you know? Most of them were from him when he showed up, right? And then the other ones were from previous generations and previous teachers too. But when he showed up, bro, we just started winning, you know?
I remember taking older trophies down to make room for more trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going into the shed and seeing the other forgotten trophies of just achievement after achievement. And that's a program that without the boosters would have just gotten shut down. Yeah. Like there would have been no competition. It would have just been like another class. It would have been like woodshop. It would have been like, you know,
it would have just been a band class.
You band at band class and then you're done.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're not doing trips.
There's no external additional things, you know,
you're not,
at all.
You know, testing yourself or doing any of that shit.
The competition was great for kids who weren't, because, you know, competition I think is great for kids in general, you know?
Yeah.
So kids who weren't necessarily athletic and didn't have like the sport mentality, like that was an outlet for them to experience competition, you know? And it was, people loved it. Like lots of kids like definitely benefited a lot from taking band more seriously, you know, and trying to get better at something.
We also just kind of happened to be, you know, like the needle in the haystack where we have the best field show competition band in the world in our city, and our school was directly fueling into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where we had our very students were going into the best program in the world.
Yep, Blue Devils, baby.
So it's like, why wouldn't you? It's like you have the like. There you go. Give some money to them motherfuckers.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you invest into that?
Yeah.
You know, like, because then that's repertoire or rapport, I should say, for the school, right?
Yeah.
Like our schools, our alumni eventually go off to play music in one of the, like you said, like globally one of the best field show bands in the world. You know?
I mean,
like,
competition just destroying, like just one of the biggest name in it. Is in our yard. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Like it's hard to even process the idea of that. Like that they're everywhere, all over. And the best one's right there.
Yeah, and they're considered to be some of the best musicians in the world too.
Yeah.
You know, like as far as like field show goes, you know, like drum corps and all that.
But
right?
then at the same
people
time,
who have never don't know what we're talking about, imagine the Nick Cannon movie, you know.
Oh yeah,
but like,
drumline, yeah.
But like amp it up to with a bunch of brass lines and like way more serious competition, you know.
Yeah, and it's like adults.
Right,
You know, it's like this is like after
and
high
they're
school,
all
like,
they are all actual athletes too because they're sprinting around the fucking
wall playing music.
There is, if you look at field show, there's maybe one token fat guy. There's never somebody who's huge in field show.
I was the one fat guy.
Yeah,
always like
the big old bass drum.
Yeah, just heavy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Heavy, trying to move with everybody. But at the same time, I will devil's advocate. What the fuck's the point of being in Blue Devils? To me, it just feels like an extended high school field trip.
Yeah.
You don't really make money while you're doing it. You have to spend money to doing it to do it, which means you've already filtered out quite a lot of people because you have to have money to even be in it, right?
Right. Yeah, or be funded through because they have scholarship programs for people who are like really good.
But it is like it's like kind of like a summer campy. Like you just get to keep doing it, right? Like band goes on, but like I don't know. Like I'm curious to see what percentage of Blue Devils players in their 40s or 50s are successful. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
Like I wonder, like because it is the best in the world. We can't, there's no arguing that. But it is also, it's like you were the dopest clarinet player for 15 extra years, not working or doing anything else. You just played clarinet on this bus.
Yeah, I get your point. To be fair, I'm gonna be that guy. Clarinet's not in field show, or
it could be. It's whatever we need.
No, it's like, your point is, I totally get your point. I would hope that achieving that level of musicianship, that they're also intelligent enough to be able to like turn it into something elsewhere, whether it's like being an instructor or going to be a band teacher or going to be like a field show instructor for somewhere else, because there's like there's tons of field show, like even for high schools, and they all have instructors, like Jesse Bethel, Riverside, Golden, I don't know if it's, what's that Golden Gate High School, Golden something? They're the super huge fucking high school that had like 3 fucking marching bands, and they were a Golden something. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Shit. Anyways, like, point being, there's probably like enough places where they all could go where they could take their specifically music prowess, and maybe one of them goes into producing, whether it's for like music and stuff or for whatever the fuck,
Yeah,
like,
hopefully.
So like I would assume a lot of them hopefully would be smart enough, because like there's B Corps people that those are the talented people, right? Like those are the people that are like naturally have some work ethic, and they get into B Corps and they're younger, like 20, I think 21 or 22 might be age out for B Corps, somewhere around there. And they're the ones that can kind of, for the most part, are either worked really hard to get to where they are, or they just have natural raw talent from existing, right? Then A Corps, which is like the
adults,
that's the top dogs, and the age out for that I think is like 28,
Thank God. No, you have to do something now.
Yeah, it's I mean, also too, just because like it needs to. There's always a flowing amount of talent, know. So it just kind of, there's not enough room to hold on to these people, you know. But
I feel like the life of a musician is just a very like, you either make it or you don't, and there's a very slim make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like even when you were naming the jobs, everything you named had the word instructor at the end of it. That's how few jobs there are. Yeah. It's really just like you either become part of like a symphony, which would be sick, or you become a teacher. Right. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how many kids were in our band program and how many teachers are there? You know what I'm saying? I think we were at like what, 105?
Yeah, something
like we barely were over 100 in our marching band. We got Mr. Courtney, like that's the teacher. There was there was one other. There was the chick for the color guard girls, and then like when we did like the competition, they'd bring in that other guy Rod. But other than that, it's one teacher. You know what I'm saying? And he taught more than marching band. He taught the orchestra. He taught symphonic band. He taught jazz. And not everybody was in every single class. So I mean, as far as like what are all these musicians going to do one day when it comes to becoming an instructor? We're already looking at 135 to one spot right there if you want to be at your school, which happened. Our fucking drum major became the teacher.
Yeah.
It's the coolest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a small margin though, like you're saying.
It's not. Yeah, it's not likely. You know, that's for sure. And then,
Yeah.
or you know, maybe you could be like part of just like a cool like traveling cover band or something. But I think for the most part, it does translate to just being a dope hobby.
Yes, right.
Like,
so I'd say like what you're touching on basically, it's like a 50-50, I'd say. You know,
Yeah.
like there's probably people who go and turn it into some sort of like income something that's related to music in some way,
Yeah.
whether it's literally playing the instrument that they played or it's making music on a computer or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And then there's the other ones that probably go on to a different career, pursue different things, and then just music is just
And they
something that
just
they've
know how
always
to
been
do
a
it.
part of them,
Yeah.
you know, right?
Yeah.
But they don't really do it anymore,
Yeah,
right?
like-
That's totally like a
Like
very
the-
obvious,
Yeah, like the Shine. Like, you know, an amazing trumpet player.
Oh, yeah.
Also doesn't
Oh,
play
yeah.
the trumpet. You
Right,
know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, but, you know, also maybe one day when he's in his 40s or 50s.
pick it back up again.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He starts just casually playing that shit again. And he'll be fucking awesome at it still. You know?
Yeah, you know what's interesting too is that so the A core,
But yeah, so that's my point though, is when you're taking the next step and you're joining the Blue Devils, the after school, when it's like I'm gonna join the best, but you're still walking that same line as everybody else as far as like there's really only so many places you're gonna go.
yeah,
And successful,
Right.
over $100,000 a year, that's even smaller. Right? No instructor's getting that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Unless like maybe like a college, like a big college, like a state school or a university instructor might make that if they're like a winning
right.
program. But again, there's only so many colleges and so many motherfuckers that are playing music. You know?
Yeah, 100%. You know,
Yeah. Because I like the idea of being in Blue Devils, but it also just does seem like a big waste of.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's all perspective at the end of the day, right? You are right. Some part of them. Of every Blue Devils like member is doing it because they want to be the best. They want to have that pride.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
competing against other people because they want to be the best at what they're doing. Right?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
So no matter what, right? That's always going to be a huge driving factor.
Yeah.
You know. So
And they
yeah, it's
are
all
the best.
perspective, I guess, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then when they achieve that, they're like, "I did it." Now they move on to the next thing, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna find more of people in the B core that never made to A core to be the ones that likely like kind of like left altogether and maybe aren't doing well in life, right? Because that's more common, I think, of people who have talent but no work ethic, right? And then they get up to that point. They can't break past that barrier without the work ethic, and they just kind of walk away, right?
Yeah.
And then the A core people are usually people who have breaking past the barrier of competition to get into something that's greater, you know?
Yeah.
So I would hope that many of those people have the aptitude to go off and whatever they're doing, regardless, you know, turn it into something worthwhile.
Well,
you know?
yeah, and like I wonder where the time comes. Like you know, can you balance being an A core Blue Devils player and go to college?
Yeah, it's
Because you got to be
seasonal.
on the road a lot.
It's only on one season, though.
Okay.
So it's only in spring.
So
So
you're-
from one point to the another month, I don't remember the actual months, but they start auditioning in February or March, I think, which is like a weekend thing,
okay,
right?
So you can you could take
yeah.
the winter courses in college and then spring be in Blue Devils.
Yeah, you could even arguably be in the Blue Devils too if your work ethic's crazy enough.
Well, don't you
got
gotta be on the road, though? Like-
yeah, but there's a lot of like online classes that you can do
Yeah.
because they never not have internet, you
True,
know.
true.
And but they're only
that's new.
They're only
That's-
on the road for a month, which is during the competing season.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I thought it was way
Otherwise,
longer than
no, it's they train and practice and build a show because you're literally what's happening is that whoever is running the field show and the music and everything, it's pre-written.
Yeah.
They go into the spring season, they do the recruitment / auditioning process, right, for X amount of time. They get the people, they teach them the field show, they teach them the music. That takes a month or two plus to get it like high level,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then after, I don't remember how big the season is, but I know it's in spring. It doesn't go into summer. They have, I think, a month, maybe 2 month circuit of
like going and touring the world, and competing at different places, right?
Yeah.
But it's like football in the sense too that sometimes other places go locally to where, like Concord, Blue Devils is big enough to where they can host their own like I don't know what they're called, but I guess competitions. I almost said tournament, so that's not the right word.
Yeah.
But competitions where it counts for points for the overall who can go and compete in the grand championship, essentially, right? There's like a playoffs kind of sort of thing to it.
Yeah.
But long story short, a lot of them in general don't really have all their time taken up during the season. It's really when they're actually competing, which is a smaller window, Otherwise, they have time all the rest of the year.
I thought that their shit was going to be way longer than that.
No.
I was thinking like 3, 4, 5 months, like being on the road, and then the rest of the year was learning.
Because they practice here. They practice here in the Bay Area, so they don't, even when they have rehearsals, they don't have to go far. Ideally, you're local, and if you're not, they fly you out here, and you're out here for X amount of time, right?
Yeah.
But those people who get flown out are the ones that are like hyper dedicated, and 9 out of 10 times if you ever watch on YouTube Blue Devils and like the different people, there are certain characters that show up, and they more often than not become defining roles in like as a snare drummer. They might invent a new thing. Like that's how fucking nutty some of these people are, right?
Yeah.
We had an instructor at Concord High once that was part of the first couple rounds of Blue Devils when he was younger, right? And he's Canadian and he's a tenor player, right? And he invented a lot of the stylistic like sweeps, and crossovers that Blue Devils use a lot of the time that translated to a lot of other drum corps,
Yeah.
But like those are the type of people that make it into a corps,
Yeah.
that are building that time. So I'm sure they would have enough mental fortitude to like balance life and their passions. I would hope.
You would hope, yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple that are just like raw talent that are just born to be top dog, and then take advantage of it, because there's like they have their own form of athletes in the sense that they're all in crazy good shape. They all run 5 miles as part of the warm up and shit and everything because they expect you to be in crazy good shape, because when you do rehearsals, it's like an all weekend thing. And then you get into Hell Week, which is like kind of how we did band camp, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like a week or two of them just nonstop all day, 10 hours running fucking
sideways and shit.
Yeah, and if you're holding a big ass drum, you have to have perfect posture, and then but sprint from like the 50-yard line to fucking like the 10 in,
Yeah, because if you're like struggling or bouncing, people just see it. Mm-hmm. It's so
flow.
Clear. It's like,
and then you have to play at an extremely high level, right? And then on top of that, like you're doing this for 10 hours, and then you're gonna do it again the next day, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying before. There's not really big people in high level drum corps because you can't. Your body will just eat all of it away.
That or you'll fucking hurt yourself.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You'll
right.
Trip over your own fucking.
There is like
your knee
athlete mentality in drum corps.
Yeah, of course.
For sure. So there's probably going to be a wide variety of people who are full of themselves. Because they're in a corps, I guess.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some people that are monstrously good at what they do and have imposter syndrome,
definitely.
But the point being, I hope the whole thing is that I hope all these people who make it into this level of like perfection, like expertise, that they would be smart enough to be able to grow themselves elsewhere or be prepared for such things,
Yeah, my point is if they're going to make that program at Concord High go the band program kind of fix itself with this mascot change, it's going to be hard for them to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have to like skip a season, you know what I'm saying, of competition. And then once they skip a season of competition, the school sees how much money it's saved, and the parents feel how much money it's saved, and the kids aren't as interested in maybe as much as going out as any much because they didn't have to sacrifice their weekends of getting up at 3 a.m. to blind march. Remember that? Getting up at like before the sun to wear a blindfold in March? they'd line you up on the fucking blacktop. and there was hash marks every 8 feet.
Right.
And you'd have to wear the blindfold, and you'd have to march across the line, and your feet had to line up with the thing.
Yeah. They'd mark with chalk on the asphalt.
Yeah.
Exact distances, and your foot had to land on each mark perfectly because you had proper spacing with your marching.
Of your foot,
you know,
it
had to be instinctual. You know?
And I think everybody goes a year without that, and it's like relieving breath, and then they just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that just falls apart.
Yeah.
You know, it just becomes a class.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's an underfunded class. Then instruments finally start to break, and they don't got the money for none anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're barely even paying the band
then they'll
teacher.
start having to ask parents to buy their own instruments if they want to partake, and that's going to shoo away even more people.
All the poor kids are done.
Yeah.
they don't get to play.
Right.
Band
you
anymore.
know, it's just a domino effect from there.
Yeah. And
sure.
like we've seen schools, like the high school I went to originally didn't have a band program because they just didn't have a teacher. They lost all their funding.
Yeah.
You know, it was the idea of a band was just something that the school once had. You know what I'm saying? And that can happen to this school now when it has, again, the best fucking band program outside of it in the country.
Right.
And then you're just like, fuck them.
Yeah. Right.
Like, here's one less wave of kids you're going to be getting.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like they do so well, and they get from everywhere else, you know, too.
Yeah.
Like around California, people will go and join them. So who gives a fuck, right? There's like no incentive for them to invest in the band in Concord High.
Yeah, I hope the school just closes. I saw something earlier about a school a whole high school. I forgot what state it was in. Some backwater ass state. It was a high school that closed. That's for sale right now for like $60,000.
What?
You could buy the whole high school campus.
What the fuck? I'd sell my house and buy that shit right now, dude. What the fuck? I'd turn that into a whole ass fucking like
compound.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. What the
First things
fuck,
first, we're
bro?
getting a wall.
Yeah,
we're getting a fucking wall around the whole campus.
Yeah, dude. You just pick like the main office, convert it, you know, into like your main living space, right?
Fuck that, multi-use room.
Well, wherever, you know, and then over time you just start embellishing all the buildings, you know.
Hell yeah.
Bro, you have your own basketball court and
my
shit,
gosh.
dude. Like,
you might have
what
your own
the
pool.
fuck? If a millionaire doesn't jump on that and turn that into a thing, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Because clearly it's not being sold. No other school it's not going to another school.
No,
you know?
and that's a weird
Like,
thing too. It's not like some principal out there is like,
Right.
well, I can build my campus finally.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like churches do that. Churches are like hermit crabs. Like they'll lose their pastor, and sometimes they'll just like fall apart. They won't get another one, and then the whole thing will just close.
Yep.
And it'll be an empty building for a minute. And then somebody else that's like, I believe in Jesus. I'll buy that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they buy the
trick
building
it
and
out.
they turn it into a church again.
Yep.
Like they literally
And
hermit
forever.
shells.
How long?
You look at a church, and that might not be the first one that was in that building.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might
You
have
look
been
at a church and it might
It
have
could have been a different religion.
Yeah, it could have been a completely different building at one point.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah, it was a
like,
Pizza Hut once.
right? Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I know that rooftop, you bastards, you liars. I remember when that church took over that old movie theater,
Yeah,
and like, and there was other churches that in Brendan Theater in our town. They like today, Sunday, right now. There's probably a church event going on in that movie theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would see it all the time as like a kid. Like they would get like the 9 a.m. spot before the first couple showings, and then they would hold services in the theaters. And then sometimes, like if you were like, you know, trying to matinee it and get like one of the first showings of the day, sometimes they'd still be like taking their shit down while you're like sitting in the seats waiting for the credit previews to start.
Oh, wow! I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah, a lot of churches do just for theaters because it's just easier.
That's a good idea.
To rent that space.
It's a good idea. You know,
Yeah.
it's nice, comfy seats and everything. Everyone's looking in one direction. You know,
Yeah.
right? You know, like it's a good idea.
You know,
smart.
it's probably affordable. You know what I'm saying? Because the theater's not making any money in that moment because they don't have any screenings going yet.
Right.
So right now they're just paying for PG&E and everything for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So any income is still better than no income.
Yeah, and
then
and
it's a
that theater
church,
in
so you kind
particular.
of look the other way a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
whatever. Yeah,
I would charge this much, but we'll charge you guys like a quarter of that because it's
Sure.
for Jesus.
right. It's for Jesus.
I don't even believe in him, but I don't want to go to hell. So
And that theater in particular was needing money hard for like tough for a hot minute, you know.
oh yeah, and now it's worse.
Yeah, you
They
know,
updated it. And it's a piece of shit.
they updated and it looks nicer at least, you know, but like it's still not really maintained too well.
It's not maintained
know?
well. They put in these like recliners, and they're already like getting all like ripped and fucked up.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like I don't need a ridiculous recliner in the theater.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't. I will fall asleep. I am an old man.
It'd be nice to like lean it back a little bit to be comfy.
Yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
need it to fucking like post me up. You know,
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I'm fucking. I worked too hard and paid too much to go in this theater for a fucking nap. all
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, right. I don't need to be like feeling like I'm in a hammock right now.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Like-
just need to like be positioned comfortably and watch the movie.
My favorite theater in this whole world is the one in Truth or Consequences because it's one screen, in a room where for the acoustics, the walls are made of stone.
Oh, okay. So it bounces in everything.
Yeah. It's old school,
Yeah,
old school.
yeah.
The chairs are almost like lawn chairs, so like you can fold them all up and put them away when you're done. And it was a lot more intimate and like it's less comfy. So I think you get more immersed because you don't want to fucking think about your chair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's cheap as fuck because like there's only one screen, only one room to maintain, so they don't have to have a lot of staff. So their overhead is pretty low.
Right.
You know, other
Right.
than like renting the films, or however that works for theaters.
You just get to license it.
Yeah.
And then usually if you have a computer, it's an MP4 and a projector, or if you have to get the actual film, then it's more expensive.
Okay. Well, I'm sure by now there's MP4 and a computer.
It's way significantly more cheaper.
Yeah,
You
so,
just
I
get a
mean-
licensed copy.
And then like my theory about New Mexico, about Truth or Consequences, is that like if you have an idea, they'll just give you a building. Because I think like the economy is so bad there because there's nobody there, and it's a retirement kind of community. So like, not only is nobody there, nobody's really working. You know, everybody's just collecting from the government, like, and living in this giant weird desert trailer park. And a lot of the shops are like art shops. You know, it's just like I make like fucking clay out of incense.
Just random
And then-
stuff that they can make and just
Yeah.
potentially sell to people who might want it.
I made a dragon.
Yeah.
You want it?
Yes.
You want it?
I do.
All right. Well, that'll be $300.
Holy fuck.
That's gonna be rent for the building for the next 8 years. If I sell
They
this
need
dragon,
one sale.
yeah, I sell this dragon and I made my net for the decade.
Yeah, yes.
They're gonna keep the lights on.
Damn, that'd be nice.
Well, I
dude.
think-
one sale for a good amount of time.
Well, like, all right, so like when you have like an economy that's all just fucking disability and social security checks, it's better to not have the buildings all empty, right? So, I mean, again, in the form of like no money versus some money, if you're the landlord, like the building owner, it's better to have somebody in there giving you a little bit of fucking money than nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it makes the town look like more alive. Like
Not
there's-
empty
like, yeah.
and sad.
Dude, here's the thing. The whole town shuts down in the beginning of the month for Art Hop.
Yeah. Right.
So everything closes at like 4.
yep.
Like 4. Like get it done. Grocery stores. Done. And then the whole town goes to where most of the shops are, because it's kind of like 2 areas. There's by the Walmart, and then there's the town.
Right.
Right, and in the town, it's mostly just like the art shops. So everything closes at 4. The art shops all open up, and people just walk from shop to shop.
That's dope.
Looking at art. Yeah,
That's dope. That's cool that they have little community days like that.
oh yeah. They're very community oriented because there's not too many of them, so it's easier to be. But like like I watched a video the other day because I'm going to New Mexico soon,
Oh, hell yeah.
and there was this chick who was like an RV person. And she was in Tier C, so she was just traveling, and she decided to do a video about Truth or Consequences. And it's like Tuesday in the middle of the day. It's like like 10, 11 in the morning, and she's driving around town, and everything is closed. Everything's closed. The museum, the
Yeah.
little thrift shop,
Yeah.
everything. It's all closed. It's just a Tuesday. And like to her, she's like, I can't believe it. Like, how does this operate? I'm like, yeah, no, that's exactly how this town operates. Everybody's making Social Security. Nobody's fucking working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the bank and the McDonald's and the Walmart, like everybody else is just kind of chilling.
Yeah, they're just making their checks and then just going home.
There's hella
Staying
thrift
home.
shops. Like I can open a business just farting into people's mouths. And if one person paid me to do it, I can keep the lights on in that motherfucker for the year.
Oh my god,
Like,
that's hilarious.
Like, you
dude.
just need something in that place. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's getting weird too because like a lot of the little motels closed.
Oh,
So now there's full motels for sale
Damn.
for like, like 40 grand.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
What
Like,
the fuck,
You want a
bro?
fucking whole motel? Why not? Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
the
real.
Middle of the fucking desert.
There's a bunch of fucking different rooms
Like,
and stuff.
My uncle just bought the house across the street from my dad's house. Lock, stock, and barrel. Everything in it. Whatever was in the house is his because the guy died. I think he got it for like fucking like $100 grand.
It's upsetting.
It's a 2-story
so
house.
upsetting.
It's a 2-story house and so the way it's built is on this kind of hill because my grandma's backyard's the Rio Grande or my dad's now. So the house is built on a hill. So where the front door is, you're looking at a 1-story little house, right? But it actually goes and it's built down into the hill.
Yeah.
And your actual yard
That's crazy.
is Rio Grande.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, like it's
fucking
you literally
nuts.
are on your property with
Yeah.
your feet in the Rio Grande.
Yeah. That's
Like,
cool. That's
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, granted, its location being in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and you can't get nothing if you need something.
Nope.
You know,
There
but,
isn't a hospital.
But it's cool
There's
location.
there's no
you know?
hospital.
Yeah.
You have to go 70 miles.
It's like a vacation home.
Yeah,
you know?
there's I've asked about it before because it blows my mind. Like, if you need a doctor, like let's
stat.
say it's an emergency,
Yeah.
there is one, and he works for the VA, so he's not going to help you.
Yeah.
And if he is going to help you, he's going to charge you so much money
Yeah.
because he does not have time for your shit. You have to go 70 miles south to go to a doctor.
Yeah, to get like an actual hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you're
Jesus, dude.
You're more likely to just die
Yeah, I
in
was gonna say-
transport.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're more better off just dying.
yeah, like I remember
Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and hope I, don't die. And if I
Yeah.
do, I die.
when I was,
Oh, well.
I think I was like 13 when we started going out there like every year. Like instead of Sonora, we started going to, I'd say 13. It's when it was like New Mexico. As soon as we'd get out of class in June or whatever, until probably 2 days before the first day of school, I would be in New Mexico every single year. And I was like 13 and my dad taught me how to drive. I'd already been shooting. Now it was time to learn how to drive a car. And like, for me, it felt really young. I was like scared,
Yeah.
always because of like the consequences potentially. But in his eyes, he was like, look, man, like, you got to learn how to drive because we're going to be in the middle of the fucking desert. And if I get bit by a rattlesnake, you're the only way we're getting out of here. And now looking back at it, no.
Yeah.
Because what was I going to do? Drive us an hour?
Right. Yeah. for
While
real.
you're dying from a rattlesnake
Yeah.
bite? Where was I going to take you, dude?
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
going to take you to McDonald's?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Hope that the VA guy's here having a fucking McDouble before he
Yeah.
goes home. Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Like, realistically, that was an awful plan.
100%.
Like,
Yes. It was like straight to suicide.
If you were really teaching me how to drive for that was not well thought through.
No.
Like,
No.
I wouldn't know where I'm going.
Right. Yeah.
I might be able to get us back to like where we started when we first turned off the road.
yeah.
I don't know how to just get on. I don't know where the freeway is
Right.
from
Yeah.
here.
I
and,
know
like,
nothing about how
I
any
don't-
of this
I don't
works.
know how to read these signs really properly yet.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like I might even go the wrong way.
I don't know
You
what an
I'm saying?
on ramp or an off ramp is. I might be going on to an off ramp.
Yeah, in which case, hold
like-
the fuck on.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would take us over this median and get us on the right way eventually. But,
yeah.
Dude,
I'll
yeah,
go in the
like-
direction, but that's about it.
yeah, and then imagine it's an hour. Even if
Yeah.
I'm speeding, it's an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think last time I went there, I got back from Las Cruces in about 45 minutes. It's 70 miles.
Yeah.
Like, that's flooring it.
Yeah, that's fast,
Like,
bro. That's hella fast. Like 100 miles at least.
It's weird driving out there because it's flat. It's flat.
Just forever.
Yeah, so you can see like 100 miles. So there's no cop. Where the fuck would he be?
Yeah, out on off the road, hiding out in the fucking.
He's not. You can't hide behind cactuses and shit.
Yeah.
Because here's what thing people don't know about cactuses. Those cactuses that you see on the TV, the fucking like Marge Simpson cactuses with the big arms, those are only in one place in the entire world. That's just a small area in Arizona.
Yeah. Like, otherwise, they're just balls, right, on the ground. Yeah. They're short usually.
Or they're the fat ones that like are like they look like big pucks. But they're those stand up funny looking ones that you see on the TV. That's Arizona only. Yeah, and I've seen them. They're pretty dope, but it's only there ever. So it's like he's not hiding behind shit. There's no civilization for him to hide amongst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's flat. It's dirt. There's a bush every now and then or a dune.
Right. I should be able to see this coming. Like if I'm flooring at 110 miles an hour, like I'll see this guy like 50 miles away at minimum. You know?
Yeah. We got more than enough time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how far is the human eye before details are lost?
It's hard to tell.
Do we know what the number is on that?
There must be a number.
Yeah.
But like out there, like. Here's what I know. Out there, I've seen it rain easily hundreds of miles out.
Right.
Because it just looks like the clouds are falling and it takes you hours to get to it.
There we go. How far can the human eye see?
About 3 million light years from Earth.
Wow, there's no maximum distance a human can see. However, with a clear night sky and no obstructions, the naked eye can see around 3 million light years. Fucking Christ. What the fuck, bro? That's kind of mind-blowing, dude.
How far? How about type in the desert at the end of that?
See, in the desert. Let's see.
Yeah.
Does it pop up? No. I'm typing with one hand. I'm sorry. Desert.
In the desert. Up to 3. No. It says up to 3 miles until the horizon line. That's not true.
You can see many more miles. However, a person can see many more miles from a greater elevation and even farther if the object they are viewing is also high above ground level.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's based off of the curvature of the...
Yeah, so I can see the clouds. I just can't see the road.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, you could see pretty... There's not like a specific number. It seems like there's a couple... I'm seeing other numbers on these searches. But so regardless, it seems like there's like... It's a large number. Like you would see a cop very far away from you know, as long as you're paying attention.
I mean, even in the worst statistic, at least 3 miles away, which is enough for you to fucking slow down a little bit.
Right, yeah, just put your foot off the pedal, you know, and then you'll coast eventually.
And you're gonna see them. Like, it's crazy. Like when I go out there in November, I'm gonna be driving like 600 miles.
Yeah,
easily. Probably 1,000 for the full trip.
Hella far,
because I'm starting in the middle of the state, and immediately driving northeast to the Colorado border to stay in this beautiful town called Taos. I'm going to stay in Taos for like 2 days. It's about 2.5 hours north from the airport, and the airport's 2 hours north of my parents' town. So I'll be about 4.5, 5 hours away in the wrong direction, essentially, when I start this trip. And then the next day I'll go to Santa Fe, which is about an hour from there. So I'll be about 3.5 away from the house, and then I'm gonna have to make that fucking long ass drive through the middle of the desert.
Yeah, make sure you're topped up on gas, bro.
3.5 hours. That's 300 miles out there.
Yeah, fill up your gas, and then maybe even have an extra gas canister with you just in case. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in a truck too. I'm gonna be in a big ass truck.
Big old truck.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not driving the Buick or nothing?
No, I'm renting a car. Fuck that.
Okay.
Because if I want to drive out there, it's 18 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get there.
That's fair.
And then I'm not going up to beautiful Taos.
At that point, you're already doing that shit.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm going straight to TRC and nowhere else if I'm driving 18 hours. Fuck everything.
That's fair.
Like, at least flying to Albuquerque, it's like, all right, I can go the wrong direction and then have a fucking day where I'm on the road.
Truck's a good choice, too.
Oh, yeah. You know? For out in the desert.
Shit go wrong, you know? Big old truck.
Yeah. I can go wherever I want out there. It's all flat. So it's like... I mean, I've just been out in the middle of the desert just in a small truck. Yeah, my whole life out there.
Just pay attention to where you're driving, and you're good.
Yeah, well, that is the thing though. Is like the way it works is like, let's say you're on the highway and you're like, it's just a road that goes to like Texas, right? There's no street lights. There's no like power poles even. It's just
One
road.
road, yeah.
It's just road. It's flat. You can see as far as your eye can fucking process, and you just go. And then every now and then, on that road, I mean, we're not talking about like a highway where it seems like it's like separated from things and all that shit. It's just like it just looks like a road.
Yeah.
You know, like not even that greatly maintained, just a road. And then every now and then you just see an offshoot of just a dirt road. And then if you take that dirt road, that'll take you to people's like ranches and properties. But sometimes those have not even had people in them for like 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll take you to an old Indian reservation.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Or there's nobody even there. It's just dead shit. And like you can look for arrowheads and stuff like that. I found a few arrowheads that were perfect.
Wow.
I found a lot of fucked up arrowheads too, but I found full nice obsidian arrowheads out there.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Because that's where those motherfuckers were. Like they really were. And not only were the Native Americans were there, but there's not a lot of motherfuckers there now. So like a lot of that shit's still there because there's nobody to go find it. You know, that's why me and my dad would always just wander off into the desert. We'd just pick one of those roads. It sprouts off into a bunch of other random dirt roads, and eventually they become so untraveled that you just kind of have the idea of what was the road.
Right.
You know, we're talking about just dirt and sticks and shit like that, but it looks like a road at one point. And then you have to remember where you came from.
Jesus,
You know what I'm saying? If you don't remember where you come from,
you're kind of fucked.
you're probably going to die,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
Yeah.
like,
That's fucking
you better
wild.
remember. Or
Yeah.
if you have a compass, you know, you just
Know
go,
which
all
way
right,
it is,
well, I'm
yeah.
going fucking east, and
Yeah.
I'm flooring it until I'm out of gas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just point this bitch east and floor it and hope that something happens before I run out of gas.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like
Yeah.
maybe I'll run into something. Fuck me. And maybe not. You know, you might just die, honestly.
Yeah, especially with all the heat. You know, you can't
it's so
escape
hot.
the sun out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like be thankful you're in a car.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
even though that's probably gonna bake. You know.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm about
Like-
to be in a truck, so I'm
Yeah.
not worried about it. I'll be going
You get a
anywhere.
white truck so it reflects all the light. and
That'd be
heat,
baller.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like it's some serious. You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then it'd probably be not as hot. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm using the AC. It's a rental. I'm fucking full blasting that
Oh, yeah.
AC. I'll
Yeah.
fucking pull all the Freon out of
Oh,
that
if
fucking
it
system.
broke though while you're out there. you
Oh no,
know,
I'll punch
then-
through the dash and fix it myself. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, dude, just like halt the whole fucking trip just
Yeah.
to fix it. You
I'll
know?
fucking rebuild it myself in Charge Enterprise for
yeah,
my labor.
double labor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, dude.
Like I rebuilt your fucking. I
Yeah.
had to pull out the condenser and the evaporator, and I
Yeah.
had to rebuild the whole thing. So.
When are you going on your trip?
November.
Oh, okay, you got time.
I'm gonna take my girl to meet my parents for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
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 big
it'll be a
step.
lot of fun.
Big step.
Hell yeah,
Never done something
big
like that
movement,
before.
dude. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
good for you, bro.
Well, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right, folks. Well, that'll have it for you this week. I'm about to shit my pants.
Me too.